Hi, friends. What are your plans? What plans have you made for when you retire? What do you plan on doing with your time? Those are things that I've thought about not just recently, but all through my life. Even when I had little kids still at home, I was thinking, boy, if I could just retire right now. My oldest daughter used to say all the time, because we just loved playing together and doing things together, and she would say often, she says, "Why can't you retire now and work later?" And I always thought that was a pretty good question. I thought, well, why can't we just do it that way? But so anyway, what are your plans for when you retire? Um, I've had a couple of ideas. Here he comes. A couple of ideas for things, how I want to work things when I retire. And I don't know if you're going to come over here. Come over here. Come over here. He's trying to jump in front of the camera and tripod. Okay, come up here. Oh, whatever. Come here and say hi. There he is. Okay. You satisfied now? Yeah, you came up to say hi? Okay. Now, can I get on with things again? Is it okay? Or you can stay right there. So, anyway, years ago, I had a good friend. He's since passed away. That he'd been retired for several years when I first got to know him, and he was just a down to earth kind of guy, no nonsense, black and white. But his wisdom, I just cherished it. Whenever he came up with something, I had to listen carefully because it was just good. And I remember him one time, he was talking about how he says all of his friends around him, they were all retiring now too. And he was saying how, he says, they up and sell everything in their house and everything and buy an RV to go see the country, he says. Then after a couple of years of that, they get tired of that. And what do they come back to? They don't have anything to come back to because they got rid of all of it. And he says, what are the grandkids call Grandma and Grandpa's house? Well, it's nothing. Where's Grandma and Grandpa? Oh, they're, 2 hours south of Chicago on I-57 heading south. That really stuck with me. I thought, you know what? I need to make sure I can see easily me, I'm supposing other people as well, when they finally, after their 50-something years of doing the same schedule, having a commitment somewhere, all of a sudden they wake up one morning and there's just all ties are broke loose. They're completely free now, and just kind of freaking out in that. I can see that happening. It could happen with me. I can see that. And so that has stuck with me all these years. I thought, you know what? I don't want to just all of a sudden say, hey, I'm taking off and just, make that mistake. So I say it's a mistake. I'm sure people think about it a lot and decide that is a good thing for them. I just wonder if it's just something that we're just overwhelmed from the life change, huge change that takes place at retirement. And instead of making that decision, we won't call it a mistake, making that decision to do that kind of thing, there are other options a person can do. Day trips or weekend trips or, week-long trips someplace where you just, instead of an RV, I tell you what I've done a couple of times to visit my daughters, rented Airbnbs. I love doing that. Each time we've done that, we've found a really nice little house to stay in. We do that really because we take our dog with us everywhere. And you can't just take those to any old hotel. And he doesn't like strangers. And so, and I don't want him around my grandkids. And so we will leave him for a couple hours at a time at the house and go visit. And we'd go back to the house for a little while and back and forth. And it just ends up being just a wonderful time. And, we've gotten some wonderful places to stay. So, there's options like that you can do. That you don't just sell everything and buy an RV and then all your roots are cut. There's no more safety net. If the friends, the people around you that you have connections with, that, in a time of need, they are there. And that also you can be there for them in a time of need. it would be real easy to just turn our attentions on ourselves and just to say, hey, I've worked for this. I've earned this. I'm going to do whatever I want to, and almost turn into a 55, 60, 65-year-old, 12-year-old, where it's just, me, me, me. So, that's one don't. And the other don't, I learned this through observation of a neighbor I had years ago. There again, when I met this person, he had been retired for quite a while, and he told me a few different times that he would always check his retirement portfolio every day. The ups and the downs, and he was always talking about it was up, it was down, or whatever. And I don't know how often in a day he checked it, but I got the feeling he checked it kind of regular, I would think. That was his main reason for having internet in his home, was so he could check his portfolio. And I remember thinking, boy, that could be nerve-wracking. That could really get you, because, investments are going to go up and down daily, hourly, by the minute. And I wouldn't want to be worrying about that all the time. And so that was another part of my retirement framework I try to keep in mind, is that when I get to that point, I don't want to have it cut so close and be so tight that I have to be keeping track of all that and have to be worrying about that and just watching it, or have that mindset, I guess. And it leads into what this whole series is that I'm doing is I would keep the side hustles. I would keep the other sources of income coming in. It does two good things for you in retirement. It gives you extra sources of income, more stability, more peace of mind, and it will also give you some structure. Instead of waking up in the morning and being like, what am I going to do with my day? I have to learn a whole new thing. You still have something to occupy some of your time, to have structure. You can decide what time of day that's going to be, but those side hustles are important for more than one reason. And so, yeah, I would definitely keep those. Thank you for your time. And I appreciate you giving me some of your asset of time. I appreciate that. Thank you.